Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Before starting, subscribe and like the videos, it really helps a lot. The content from this video are taken from the web novel and manga series of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Now please enjoy the video.
Volume 8 Chapter 9 White Mask. First Part 1. Recently, I've been feared by almost all of the students attending the Magic University. I didn't realize it at first. I just simply thought I was being avoided. For example, if some bad-looking guys came walking in my direction, if I said to them, "In order not to trip you should walk rather than run." However, for some reason after the other side realizes it, they disappear somewhere in the hall. Occasionally there's a guy who suddenly looks out the window and says, "The weather outside sure is good today." Even though it's raining. I thought, I'm lucky for them to not pick fights. I couldn't have possibly imagined that the other side thought that as well. The first time I gained self-awareness of it was when I was returning from detoxification magic class. Recently, I've been taking intermediate detoxification magic classes where many fourth years are learning. For the time being, let's put that matter aside. After the class ended and I went into the hall and spotted Ruijerd. Ruijerd. That's right, it's the muscle-bound female who blamed me and made false charges of stealing panties on my first day. Since her body is huge, she stands out. It seems simultaneously the other side saw me and our eyes met. For the time being, I tried to start up a conversation, since the other side is a senpai. It would be rude if I don't say at least one word of greeting. While thinking that, I approached her, thinking about apologizing again for the events on the first day of school. And then she was surprised and her body started to tremble while avoiding eye contact. With that large shoulder length being squeezed in, her toes were pointing inwards while cowering. Ruijerd senpai, it's about the events on my first day of school. After I brought that up, she stiffened up and started to shake. And then with a fragile voice said it. That time, was I'm sorry, very much, please forgive me. It was a clearly different attitude from how she was on the first day. I was bewildered as well. It almost looks like I'm extorting her or something. No, that is, the one that should be apologizing is me. Since I wasn't aware of the dorm rules, that sort of thing happened. While I was going on, incoherently onlookers started to gather. Part 2. Hey, look. It's Rudeus. The events from the first day, he was still bothered over that. Ruijerd-san. How pitiful. Even though he was the one who broke the rules, what a guy. Idiot, what will you do if he hears that? Part 3. From the surrounding voices I started to hear pity and criticism. Tears started to appear in Ruijerd's eyes. I felt like tears were about to appear in my own eyes as well. Strange. What's with this? The gazes hurt. NYA. What's this? A fight. How vigorous even though it's noon nano. Just at that time, Rinia and Pursena happened to pass by. According to a story I heard afterwards, it seems the two were in the same year as Ruijerd. After seeing my appearance and Ruijerd with tears in her eyes, and then it seems like they came to some kind of understanding and nodded to themselves. Then, while making some smug faces, they interrupted. "Boss, let her off with something like that NYA. I'm sure Ruijerd meant no harm NYA. I'd like for you to let us save face here as the same beast race NYA. Look, let's hurry and go. Learn a lesson from this and never again do anything that bothers Boss Nano. You have good luck, Nano. If the number 2 like me hadn't been passing by, you'd have been torn limb from limb, Nano." Yes. Ruijerd made a face as if she had just been saved and lowered her head to the 2, and then quickly left the place while trying to make that wide back look small. "Look, you all scatter as well NYA. This isn't an exhibition NYA." After hearing Rinia's words, the onlookers all scattered like the clouds. I took a breath in relief as well. "Pursena, what was that just now NYA? What do you mean by just now, Nano?" "The number 2 is me NYA. Recently the boss's underlings have increased. The idiotic Rinia doesn't fit the job, Nano. Pursena's grades are the same NYA. I thought about asking about the situation, and was about to turn around and the two had started a well-practiced comedy act. "Look, you two don't just get into a fight on your own. It's fine if there's two number 2. Boss doesn't get it NYA. It's no good if you don't properly decide the order of the organization NYA. That's right, it's something important, Nano. Humu. It seems that hierarchy is an important matter to the beast race. But, in the first place, I have no intention of standing at the top of an organization. I don't care who is number 2. Putting that aside, for the time being, I thanked the 2. I decided to give them some kind of present next time. I'm sure a fish or something would be fine. However, to touch upon the boss's imperial wrath, Ruijerd is an idiot as well. What did she do? No, she mistook me for an underwear thief on the first day of school. Ah, it's that. So the underwear thief was boss Nya. Faku Nano. They started sending me looks of scorn. Let me talk to the end. It's a false charge. False charge. Should I give you despair and humiliation as a present again? Come to think of it, previously Ruijerd was boasting about it. That fits covered for a cowardly first-year boy. The one cowering was that guy. How laughable. Nano. To let an opponent who was making a fool of him off the hook. Boss sure is lenient. Nya. However, if you don't properly discipline them, next time I'll do it properly. Nya. Do it properly, huh? Didn't you guys stop being delinquents and turn into honor students? Please stop that. What are you going to do by unnecessarily increasing my enemies? Ha! Boss doesn't aim high enough. Nya. If you were to team up with us right now, you would be able to defeat Ariel and rule over the dorms. That's right, since boss can win against Fitz, he can be the top of the school. Nano. Somehow it seems like all the beast race guys are obsessed with standing at the top. They might seriously be patients suffering from new leader illness. Rule over the dorm and become the top of the school. Then what are you telling me to do? I couldn't care less about the top. I fundamentally always go with a principle that doesn't get into fights. In order to stand above people, in other words, means to buy into the possibility of resentment. In this world your heart can suddenly be penetrated while just walking down the road. Therefore, if you treat all of your opponents as above yourself, it's about just right. After becoming the top of the school. Nya? I guess so. Nya? For starters, how about forcing all of the girls in the dorm to strip off their panties? That sounds good. Nano. Since boss likes panties enough to decorate his shelves with them, I'm sure it'll make him happy. It won't make me happy. I do like panties, but it's not like I want to decorate with them just because I like them. Getting them from a girl whose face I don't know wouldn't make me happy. For example, even if I got them from Ruijerd-san whose face I do know, they wouldn't make me happy. However, there are occasionally cute girls. Even if they aren't to my taste. For example, I might be a bit happy if it were from Rinia or Pursena. These guys smell a bit of beast, but even with everything they're considerably beautiful girls. I'm sure their blankets smell like a girl's. No, but though you know. Right, that's right. It's Fitz Senpai. I'm sure Fitz Senpai hates that kind of conduct. That's why it's no good. Yeah. Alright, I won't be deceived. Be gone, oh Mara. That was almost a dangerous situation for you. Female students who I have yet to see. If I wasn't being afflicted by this illness, it could have been a dangerous situation. I have no interest in the panties of the masses. If you're going to do it, you two can do it yourselves. Although if you're going to cause trouble for Fitz Senpai, then I will become your enemy. Yugu, well, if boss says to behave ourselves. Nya, then we'll obey that. Nya. That's right, we'll do as you say. Nano. And after that sort of event happened, I finally became aware of it. It seems that somehow I'm being feared. Even after I became aware of it, I didn't ask why. I defeated the number 1 in real ability, Fitz. Forced all of the problem special students to obey. And then, defeated the Demon King who brought terror upon the school in a single hit. The last one was especially effective. That is, I'm sure they would be afraid. It's a story I heard from Badigadi, but it seems that in order to leave a wound on his jet black body clad in fighting spirit, you would need to use techniques at the level of Sword God style King class, or else it wouldn't work. King class. In other words, only after reaching Ruijerd and Ghislaine's level will they finally be able to fight against him. And then since he fights while entrusting it to his flesh, it seems that most opponents' attacks that Badigadi receives do almost no damage. But putting that aside, if I'm to believe that story, then it would mean my rock bullet is already over King class in power. In the time I wasn't aware, my rock bullet has really grown to have quite the high firepower. Although, it's just power. According to Badigadi, I'm not wearing fighting spirit. Fighting spirit after all seems to be something that all of the swordsmen in the world casually wear. However, no matter how much I train, my flesh will never become as strong or fast as Ruijerd or Eris. My muscles will grow, but just that. In the end, the only thing I'm strong with is attack power. Thanks to the demon eye and other stuff, I can win against opponents around here. My aggregate magic power is on the level of Laplace. It seems, however, my flesh is normal. Although there's no way for the normal students to understand that. They probably think since my attack power is king class then, my body should have an equivalent level of strength. An existence beyond a demon king. If I was in the same position as the average student, I don't think I would want to get involved. Boss should have more confidence in himself NYA. I'm sure if you have more confidence it will resolve that, as well NYA. That's right, but after you resolve it I'd like for you to only attack Rinia Nano. Those were Rinia and Pursena's words. Confidence, huh? I wonder if my son's seclusion is related to my lack of self-confidence. After hearing it, I kind of have that sort of feeling. Defeated by Orsted, rejected by Eris and falling into despair, unable to show my power. If I were to get back my self-confidence, it might possibly stand up. Certainly, now might be the ideal chance to regain my self-confidence. The students are afraid of me. After giving it a try and walking around leading Rinia and Pursena, the sea of students split. I never stood in such a position in my previous life. It's fresh. I guess you could say it's a position where you're walking shoulders with the wind. Almost like a director sensei doing hospital rounds. Or maybe Moses. It's truly a good feeling. Move, don't stand in my hallway, and just as I was getting full of myself, I suddenly thought, could it be that the guys who bullied me in my previous life felt this sort of feeling while getting full of themselves? I remembered a bit of something bad. Let's go without getting too full of ourselves. I won't return to being a NEET.
That's it guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want more and don't forget to like the videos.